Riley Reiff is visiting the Jets this week, and it's big news, and I want to talk about it. Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and before we get into today's video and talking about Riley Reiff, let's talk about just some quick updates, guys. We've been really focused on getting ready for the baby to come here, so I've been really busy with all of that stuff, and that's why the videos have gone down a little bit. But I have actually recorded a bunch of videos in bulk. We're going to be seeing videos almost every day moving forward from now on. So I'm really excited doing that stuff. Just the anxiety of waiting for the baby to get here is killing me, killing my wife, and we just want to have our baby and start our new life and all of that stuff. And that's kind of been taking the focus over the channel. But we're back, we're making videos, and the only time we're going to see a pause next is when the kid comes, and that's really it. So let's talk about it. Riley Reiff is doing a visit with the New York Jets, and this is a big deal, a big deal in my eyes for the New York Jets. Riley Reiff is a former first-round pick. He was taken number 23rd by Detroit in the 2012 NFL draft. He played on Detroit for 5 seasons before moving to the Vikings, where he played there for 4 seasons and currently is coming off of 1 season with the Cincinnati Bengals. And Riley Reiff has time and experience playing on both sides of the ball of the tackle, at left tackle and right tackle. And I think that this is a big move for the Jets. And ultimately, if we could bring in Riley Reiff and Larry Ogunjobi, I think those would be really big moves for the Jets. I'm all on board with bringing in Riley Reiff. I know that the news recently came out that that Mekhi Becton will be back for minicamp, which is big news. And you love to hear and see that. But honestly, the biggest concern that I had with this team was the depth at the tackle position. I really like our upside. If we were to stay healthy, then ultimately I'm not worried about it. But you can't bank on anybody staying healthy at any position. And the fall off from the starters at the tackle position specifically to the backups is pretty big, in my opinion, when you look at the New York Jets. And so I love the idea of George Fant and Mekhi Becton playing on the right and left side, respectively. I still think that Mekhi Becton plays on the left side ultimately. I think that splitting up George Fant and Elijah Vera Tucker seems kind of like a mistake to me. So ultimately, bringing a guy in who has as much experience, he's been in the league for like 9-10 years, has played both the left tackle and the right tackle to back up these guys, is a really big benefit. And ultimately, it pushes guys like Chuma Edoga and Connor McDermott down the line. Ultimately, if we move into the season with 4 tackles, I would like those 4 tackles to be Mekhi Becton, George Fant, Riley Reiff, if we can bring him in and sign him, and Max Mitchell. And I really believe in Max Mitchell as a prospect, and I really think that he can take George Fant's job ultimately next year. I think Max Mitchell has that kind of potential. I really liked him. I was banging the table for him during the draft process, saying like we shouldn't take a tackle in the first or the second round. The only way I would take a tackle in the second round would be one if we had multiple second round picks, which at the end we didn't have those. But really was if one of the top 5 tackles, in my opinion, fell to the second round. And one of them did, but we moved on it to get Hall, and I'm not mad at that pick at all. And Max Mitchell was the guy that once we passed on the other tackles to take Hall, I was like, we got to go get this guy. He's not going to be as high up on boards because he played for the Raging Cajuns instead of like for a big name school. But this guy's got all of the pieces. He can really be a swing tackle. He can really be a right tackle moving forward. And so I really liked Max Mitchell, but I don't think he's ready to start right away if one of these guys goes down. And I don't want to see Connor McDermott or Chuma Edoga taking meaningful snaps going into the season. So Riley Reiff, definitely would love to bring him onto the Jets and see him play for like in green and white, and not play because ultimately I want Mekhi Becton and George Fant to be healthy the whole year. And if they do that, we have an elite offensive line. But if one of those guys goes down, which ultimately you know that they're not going to play every snap. I would feel much more comfortable with a guy like Reiff coming in, especially since he can play both on the right and the left side. Let me know what you guys think about Reiff coming from Cincinnati and all of that stuff. Seems like a lot of the players that we're bringing in on the offensive side of the ball are coming from Cincinnati. Not just the offensive side of the ball, just in general. If we were to sign Reiff and Larry O, we would have 4 players in the last 2 years that came from Cincinnati, and Carl Lawson, CJ Uzama, Reiff, and then ultimately Larry Ogunjobi. I still hold out on the Larry Ogunjobi coming to the Jets. I think that's a good move. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Helps us beat out the YouTube algorithm. And last but not least, go Jets.